Do you realize a single offhand sentence from your own mouth can tilt the entire course of your finances? Think of all the times you've said, "I don't have enough money. I'll never get out of debt. Maybe I don't deserve wealth." Every line is like an invisible signature you place before the universe, and it simply replies, "As you have said, so it shall be." In these first 10 seconds, take in a fierce truth: you're not broke because of the market, unstable work, or an empty account. It starts with the words you rehearse daily. You've trained your mouth to play the soundtrack of lack, and the world has been dancing to it. Pause with me. If the real enemy isn't your bills or the economy, but the phrases you repeat each morning, what changes? It means the master key is already on your tongue. When I say words are law, picture this. Every time you speak, you're not just chatting, you are issuing a decree. You are building or tearing down, summoning or refusing. You're the spiritual architect, raising a palace of abundance or a prison of scarcity, brick by brick, word by word. Here's what grieves me most: people pray in morning hope, then undo it with afternoon complaints. 10 minutes of "I am prosperous," followed by hours of "I don't know how I'll pay this bill." Money is so hard right now. The law doesn't sort prayer voice from joking voice. It hears rhythm, not rehearsal notes. Yes, we're raised in a culture that worships hard work, but hustle can't save you from an undisciplined tongue. You can grind 12 hours and pinch every penny. If your language keeps sowing lack, your harvest stays dry. The universe doesn't pay you by hours. It responds to the frequency of your words. So what happens the moment you retrain your mouth to reject poverty phrases and release only words of sufficiency, increase, and ease? The flow of supply begins to unlock. You stop living as a victim of the economy, debt, or your past. You become the pilot of your life simply by changing your language. From here, we'll move into the heart of the work: how to actually train your tongue to turn it from traitor to ally, from chain to golden key. This isn't theory. It's a daily practice of sentences and rhythm. You're about to learn 5 concrete steps that make your words a magnet for infinite supply, so what leaves your mouth is no longer mere talk, but the decree of prosperity. When you hear people say, "Words can create and destroy," you might nod politely, yet deep down still wonder, how could a handful of sentences decide my whole life? That hidden doubt is exactly why most of us keep dismissing our own speech while our days circle the same loops of lack, stress, and limitation. Here's the core spiritual principle: creation begins with a word. "Let there be light" isn't just a Bible story, it's a law. Every sentence you speak is an order sent out to your life. Words. The invisible blueprint. Imagine you're an architect. Before a house goes up, there's a drawing. If the drawing is wrong, the building wobbles. Your life works the same way. Each phrase you repeat is a stroke on the unseen plan of destiny. If you habitually say, "I never have enough money," you sketch a house of shortage. If you affirm, "I am amply supplied," you're raising a castle of abundance. Your brain doesn't argue with your words. It can't tell the difference between a present fact and a firm affirmation. It simply receives the order, stores it as belief, and that belief steers behavior, and behavior produces results. Proof from real lives. A young entrepreneur in New York drowned in debt after a failed startup. For months, he kept repeating, "I'm a failure, I'll never get up again." Then he discovered the power of language and changed his script. "I've learned a costly lesson. I'm building a better business. Customers find me every day." It sounded fake at first, but within months, his actions shifted: courageous calls, investor meetings, bigger ideas, and within 2 years, revenue crossed $1 million. That wasn't random luck. It was a chain reaction that began with words. Another story: a singer sank into depression after her career stalled. She often said, "Everyone's forgotten me. I have no more chances." It became a self-fulfilling prophecy. No labels called audiences faded. When she switched to "My music touches hearts. I bring fresh inspiration to this generation," the energy turned. She wrote again, grew a community online, and a few years later launched the biggest tour of her career. Why words hit so hard, the psychology behind it. Repetition trains belief. The more often a sentence is heard, the more the subconscious stamps it true. Words generate emotion. Say I'm broke and your body contracts. Say I'm provided for and your chest opens, your heart steadies. Your body believes your voice. Words shape action. I can't do it declines opportunities. I'm improving every day steps toward them. An athlete's lesson. A champion runner once shared, "My muscles obey my words more than my coach." Before each race, he didn't mutter, "I hope I don't fail," but declared, "I'm fully prepared. I'll run with inexhaustible strength." He kept breaking personal records. Even in a field ruled by physical power, language remained decisive. Everyday life quiet but deep. You don't need fame to see this power. A single mom in California used to tell her child, "I can't afford anything better," and both lived under a cloud of shame. After learning about the power of speech, she shifted to, "We always have enough. Life is bringing us something better." Finances improved, yes, but more importantly, her child grew up with a feeling of sufficiency instead of lack. Words don't just change a person, they change families, communities, even generations. Your turn, community practice. Which sentence have you been repeating that keeps you small, and what new affirmation will you install in its place? Post it below. When you write down it, you don't just help yourself, you lend courage to someone reading in silence. You now see that speech is the unseen foundation of reality. So how do we train the mouth so it stops sowing shortage on autopilot and becomes a faithful instrument for calling in abundance? In the next part, I'll share a step-by-step process to make language your most powerful ally in both finance and spirit. Every word you speak is a seed dropping into the soil of your subconscious. Sow lack and you cannot harvest plenty. Sow abundance and slowly but surely, new opportunities, streams of income and relationships begin to sprout. Most of us don't realize we've been programmed toward scarcity. We speak on autopilot, out of habit and fear, and the phrases we repeat each day quietly bolt the door against prosperity. The taboo phrases are invisible curses. "I don't have enough money to buy that." Making money is hard these days. "I'll probably be in debt my whole life. I'm not good with numbers, so I'll never be rich." Other people are luckier than me. They sound harmless, just tired sighs after a long day. But they function like contracts you sign with the universe. Say, "I don't have enough," and life answers, "All right, you won't have enough." As Florence Scovel Shinn put it, every word you speak is a soldier sent out on a mission. Too many people dispatch troops of poverty daily, then wonder why their garden grows weeds. Step 1 out of the loop. Swap the sentence. Don't just avoid negativity. Emptiness refills itself. Plant new deliberate affirmations, seeds of sufficiency. Instead of, "I don't have enough money," say, "Money is finding me from unexpected sources." Instead of, "Making money is hard," say, "Financial openings unfold for me with ease each day." Instead of, "I'm always in debt," say, "I'm stepping into financial freedom." Instead of, "I'm never lucky," say, "I'm guided by intuition and meet the right opportunities." Instead of, "Others are richer than me," say, "I deserve infinite supply, as much as anyone." Repeat these new lines daily, and your brain starts believing a different script. And when the subconscious believes, your behavior changes. Feeling is the fuse. It's not enough to recite. You must speak with emotion. You can't declare, "I'm wealthy," while your chest tightens with fear. Learn to feel sufficiency as you speak. For example, when you say, "Money is coming to me from many channels," breathe deeply, smile, and picture your bank alert rising. When you affirm, "I am fully supplied," let your heart open as if you've stepped into a room filled with light and blessing. Words plus feeling plus inner imagery generate the strongest signal, and that signal opens the door to wealth. A real-life pivot. A Texas high school teacher used to tell colleagues, "I only live on a teacher's salary, there's never any extra." Life matched that script. Then she changed her language to, "My income is expanding. I always have enough for needs and dreams." People laughed at first. Within a year, she launched online classes, wrote a short ebook, and created a second income stream. The opportunities appeared after she changed her words. Now join me in the comments and make it public. What's the scarcity sentence you say most often? What's the wealth sentence you'll use to replace it? Posting your lines strengthens your own commitment and lifts others. This isn't just a private experiment, it's a community awakening where we train our mouths to speak the truth of prosperity. You've begun swapping language and planting new seeds. To help those seeds root and bloom, you'll need a simple daily practice, a spiritual and psychological discipline. In the next part, we'll walk through it step by step, clearing old phrases, setting morning, noon, night affirmations, and even speaking to your wallet and bank account to unlock flow. Stay with me, this is how your words become the golden key to wealth. By now, you know words are seeds, and you've begun planting wealth-affirming sentences. The next question is, how do you turn this practice into a daily habit, a living discipline? Just like gardening, you don't scatter seeds and walk away. You water, tend, and pull weeds. Your speech is the same. We'll install a simple mouth training routine, so day by day, your words summon abundance instead of accidentally sowing lack. Clear out poverty. Speech. The first liberation. Before planting new seeds, pull the weeds. Spend one full day listening to how you talk about money. Each time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have enough," or "money is hard to make stop," and say, "I cancel that statement. I choose a new truth." Families who try this often feel the atmosphere shift lighter, more hopeful, as everyone joins the practice. The morning, noon, night triple affirmation. To train your tongue, repeat a fixed trio every day. Morning, 2-day money and opportunity come to me easily and joyfully. Midday, I am fully supplied. Every need is met. Night, I give thanks to infinite supply for blessing me all day. One entrepreneur ran this trio for 90 days. Swapping lunchtime gripes for the noon affirmation shifted his energy, and within 3 months, he signed the biggest contract of his career. Decline other people's scarcity talk. We often fall into conversations orbiting money worries. Friends lament, co-workers complain, relatives fret. If you're not careful, your mouth will start harmonizing with them, and you'll replant the same old seeds. As Florence Scovel Shinn warned, even a careless word can become a prophecy. Smile and answer gently. I believe there's always a way, and I'm cared for. No debate necessary. Just hold your frequency. Speak directly to your wallet and bank app. It may sound unusual, but it's powerful. When you open your wallet or check your balance, don't sigh. Is that all? Say, I bless this money. I know it is multiplying. One Texan tried this simple practice, hand over the screen. Thank you. I know you're increasing. A month later, he was unexpectedly promoted with a bonus he hadn't foreseen. Pre-sleep affirmation. Subconscious gateway. The moments before sleep are golden. The subconscious is open and ready. Don't carry bill anxiety into bed. Say, I go to sleep in safety and plenty. Infinite supply is at work even while I rest. Many report that within weeks they sleep deeper, wake calmer, and receive fresh ideas for work. Real-world case study. The 5-step reset. A Chicago office worker lived month to month with nothing left over. She ran 5 steps for 90 days. Cancel negative talk, the triple affirmation decline, scarcity talk, bless the wallet, and the pre-sleep line. Not only did her mood change from dread to eagerness, each morning she was promoted to manager right on time with a 40% raise. Your turn community practice. Pick one step and start today, then drop a comment. Which step will you begin with the triple affirmation or blessing your wallet? When you share, you'll feel the strength of community. We're training our tongues together, turning them into golden keys for prosperity. If you're wondering whether this really holds up under pressure, stay close. Next, we'll dive into vivid real-life and scriptural stories where a shift in speech turned entire destinies around. Maybe by now you're starting to believe words can change things. And maybe there's still a whisper of doubt. But will this really work for me? Has anyone actually done it? That's why in this segment we're going to the evidence, scripture, science, and everyday life, so you can see that words aren't just philosophy, they're a spiritual law at work. A Bible story, simple words, giant results. Remember David and Goliath? Goliath used threats to seed fear across Israel. Who dares stand against me? The army believed those words and trembled. David, just a shepherd boy, spoke a different line. I come in the name of the Lord. Today you'll be delivered into my hand. The slingshot mattered, but the victory began with the declaration. David didn't echo fear. He announced faith, and the battlefield rearranged. Psychology today. Your self-talk writes your script. Modern psychologists call it self-talk. Study after study shows the way you speak to yourself shapes motivation, risk-taking, and performance. Talk yourself into, I'm not good enough, and you dodge challenges. Talk yourself into, I can learn and improve, and you spot openings others miss. Science is simply catching up to what Florence Scovel Shinn said a century ago. Your word is your wand, it turns images into experience. Real life, the man who walked out of $50,000 debt. An Ohio man was buried under more than $50,000 of debt. His daily refrain, I'll never climb out, kept his nervous system locked in fear, and the bills mounted. Then he tried a new practice every morning, hand on the stack of invoices. I'm grateful these bills prove I'm alive and provided for. Infinite supply resolves all of this. The first weeks felt like nothing changed. Months later, he landed a job that doubled his income, built a plan, and 3 years on was debt-free. He said, when my words changed, my fear softened. With less fear, solutions got obvious. Word, calmer body, better action, different outcomes. Real life, the founder who turned the tide. A California entrepreneur was on the edge of bankruptcy. She joined a small spiritual support group that practiced daily affirmations. Her lines, my ideal clients are finding me. I deserve prosperity. 6 months in business stabilized. 2 years later, she signed her first 7-figure contract. The market didn't change, she said. My mouth did. I stopped sowing poverty and started sowing prosperity. The takeaway weapon, or key. These stories make one-point words, can be a weapon of destruction when powered by fear, or a key to the treasury when powered by faith. Your choice every day, will you speak from panic, or will you speak from promise? Your turn, community prompt. Pause for 30 seconds. What story in your life proves the power of words, good or bad? Maybe you once said, I'll get through this, and then you did. Maybe you kept grumbling and things sank to match your grumble. Share your story in the comments. Someone at a crossroads may need your proof tonight. What keeps it going beyond a quick win? You've now seen evidence from scripture, science, and daily life. The next question is the big one. How do you make this power last? How do you turn words from a short-term boost into a lifestyle? A spiritual operating system that maintains prosperity over a lifetime. In our next segment, I'll show you how to convert language into living, how to ritualize your words, align your body so the words land, and build a simple tracking loop so results compound. Close it out with one line, slow and steady. Today I choose the key, not the weapon. On, I decree only what I'm willing to live. By now you've seen it. Words aren't just passing sounds. They're seeds dropped into the subconscious commands, sent into the universe. But for that power to actually change your life, you need more than a few affirmations. You need to make language a lifestyle, a steady system of habits you live by. Words as your life's operating system. Imagine your life is a smartphone. Language is the operating system. If the OS is buggy, every app, money, love, health glitches. When the OS is clean and strong, everything runs smoothly. That's what your daily language does. It shapes how you earn and spend, how you love and heal, and even how you see yourself in the mirror. As Florence Scovel Shinn taught, your words can carry you to success or quietly steer you toward failure. Build the bridge with your speech and make it strong. Practice across every domain, not just money. Don't confine affirmations to finances, turn them into a full lifestyle. Health swap, I'm always tired for, I'm energized and vibrant. Love trade, I always meet the wrong person for I attract healthy, loving relationships. Work replace, I'm afraid I'll fail with, every challenge is a step that lifts me. A man in New York noticed he kept saying, I'm never healthy. He switched to, my body knows how to heal. Over time, his health improved and something sweeter happened. His outlook brightened. Habit resonance, repeat to imprint. You won't flip a lifestyle overnight, but you can build it with small repeating moves. Post-written affirmations where you leave mirror fridge desk. Set phone reminders to read one line every 3 hours. Practice instant transmutation. The moment a negative sentence slips out, catch it and swap it. One Texas mom said every time she slipped, her little boy would whisper, Mom, let's change the sentence. The whole family started practicing, and not only did money shift, the home grew more peaceful. When your words become your culture. The breakthrough comes when you no longer try to remember to speak life. Positive speech becomes your culture, the natural way you meet the world. That's when you step into the current of lasting prosperity. As Florence put it, in essence, when word and belief move as one, miracles feel natural. Your change inspires other people. Energy travels. Friends start asking, why do you look so bright lately, and why does good keep finding you? One Los Angeles artist stopped using social media to complain and began posting daily grounded affirmations. A year later, her audience tripled, and with it new paid opportunities. Your turn community check-in. If you could upgrade the language OS in one area of life first, which would you pick? Money, health, love, or work? Share it below. When you write it, you're not just declaring it to yourself, you're sparking courage in someone else who needs it today. You now know how to make language a lifestyle, not just for finances, but for every part of living. There's one more vital piece. How do you keep faith steady when life tests you? How do you stay unmoved and keep using your words like a wand that clears the path? In the next part, we'll walk through how to hold your word through pressure, so you don't just start the journey to abundance, you finish it well. Take a slow breath with me, hold, and release. Now ask yourself quietly and honestly, which words will I choose to walk with from today forward? Because here's the simple truth. Every sentence you speak drops like a seed into the field of the universe. You can sow scarcity, or you can sow sufficiency. You can sow fear, or you can sow love and trust. The universe doesn't choose for you. You are the sower, and the harvest circles back according to what your mouth has planted. Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us, every word you speak is an arrow that never returns. So be careful, not from dread, but from creative joy. You don't need to fear your words. You need to befriend them and train them until each line becomes light music that leads you home to blessing. And yes, there will be days you slip. You'll catch yourself complaining. When that happens, remember you always have the right to choose again. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Here and now you can affirm, I speak the language of prosperity. I sow seeds of love. I open the door to infinite sufficiency. If you let these lines set the rhythm of your days, you'll feel life begin to turn, not because of a trick out there, but because of the quiet power of the words you speak from in here. I'd love to connect with you. In the comments, tell us, what single affirmation will you begin using today? It could be as simple as, money comes to me with ease, or I'm worthy of love and abundance. When you write it, you're not just making a promise to yourself, you're lighting a lantern for someone who needed your exact sentence. If this video nourished you, leave a small sign like subscribe or tap the bell. Not only to support the channel, but to remind yourself I'm committed to mastering my words and creating my destiny. Each week I'll bring more lesson stories and practical tools, so you can turn language into a living wand in everyday life. And I don't want you to miss any chance to plant another seed of prosperity. Remember, you are not a victim of circumstances, the economy, or your past. You are a creator of reality, and everything begins with your word. Speak as if you are already wealthy. Speak as if you are already loved. Speak as if you are already free, and watch your life start to dance to that rhythm.